I've challenged everyone to put the things I teach to test. See if the things I'm teaching you are in fact in the marketplace. Do they deliver more times than not? Does it provide you a way of finding consistency over a week? Not every single day perfection, because I can't provide that. I don't even trade perfectly like that. What can I do to provide a model that my daughter could look at and say, okay, there's not a lot of moving parts. It's real simple for me to decide what it is I want to do, and also when not to do something. My students, they get bogged down in all of the content, and it just creates analysis paralysis. And it's just too many things for them to decide because, like a kid in the candy store, what do you eat first? And while you're still chewing on the first thing, what are you going to reach for next? Okay, so if you don't have discipline, and this is a personal responsibility characteristic that all of you are going to have to really assume, okay, because I can lay the things in your hands, but if you don't respect the fact that they have sharp edges, okay, or if you use live ammunition before you're really properly trained, you could hurt yourself. Okay, so here's my promises to you. I promise you, you're going to learn things that absolutely repeat a lot. You are not going to be perfect. It's not my goal to make you a perfect trader. It's not my goal to make you a perfect analyst. My goal is to improve your understanding about price action, how price is delivered, and how to read the bias on an intraday basis, a daily basis, and hopefully over a short-term period of time, you can find setups that repeat. And they have common characteristics that are very similar, but they won't be identical. No, they won't be carbon copies, but you'll see similarities to know and trust that this is a setup that you are familiar with. Try to foster a independent mindset where you're independently coming to the decisions on your own. So that way the results are yours. So because this business is extremely unique and personal, it's both the easiest thing you'll ever do, and sometimes, for many of you, is the most impossible thing to be successful at. And that sounds like an oxymoron. It sounds like double talk. And it is, but it isn't. How's that for a rib? You can't appreciate how difficult it is until you start trading with live funds. But before you start trading with live funds, and you're in a consistently, quote unquote, profitable demo trading stage, you feel like you can do anything. But something magical happens when you go into a live account where now suddenly every little tick means something to you, because it means success or failure on an individual basis. Whereas if you lose in a demo account, you didn't really lose anything. You can take another demo trade. But with live account trading, you have to deal with that drawdown and that loss. And making money in an account is sometimes worse than losing money, because it'll make you feel like you want another taste of that. And it creates opportunities for you to go in and overtrade and or over leverage. And both of those things we'll talk about in the YouTube mentorship, how to avoid some of those things. But it's up to you to avoid them. Okay. And it takes a lot of ownership personally, and the responsibility that is required to do this is paramount. Like, you cannot have anybody else take responsibility for your actions. It's your actions. And if you do well, you earned it. If you don't do well, you have to eat it. Okay, it's the way it is. I can't fix and improve everyone's shortcomings. I have my own personal issues that I fight and wrestle with internally, and it's not easy. Like, I'm obsessively compulsive, and I have ADD. It's all these things, okay, that make it difficult for me. And I'm bipolar, so I have a lot of mental barriers. But if I can sit down and frame out an idea that repeats at least once a week, I'm confident that those individuals out there that are like me or without these barriers can do it as well. And I've seen case studies in my own students where that's true. It's a transferable skill, but the skill must be honed by you, the student. While this is not a lot of money, it's only $23,694.11. It's not something to brag about. Let's just put it that way. but it's something that's not demo. It's something that won't stay at that level. And my objective is to teach conceptually a hypothetical income-based strategy. This is the E-mini S&P March delivery contract for 2022. Okay, and it's a 2-minute chart. And I want you to see the point of entry here. This is a short it took, and the cover was here. And another one here, small little scalp. And here. And then over here, I'm showing you so that way you can see there was no other trades after that short, or two shorts rather. And then today I slept in, and I just wanted to have something in addition to what I already have here. This is kind of like one of the setups that you're going to learn in the mentorship, where is the entries here and the exits here. Okay, not a lot of handles. Okay, a handle would be like 45.67 to 45.68. So that's 4 ticks or 1 full handle. In this market, it's $50 per handle or per 4 ticks. So every 1 tick is $12.50. Above this high is buy stops, and I was targeting that here, running into that. Okay, so very, very simple strategy. Optimal trade entry. You don't need to get in at this level here. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to have forgiving entries. You don't need to be highly precise about your entries, but you need to be precise about the directional bias and where it's going. Okay, where's price reaching for? And that's kind of like what I'm showing you in this mentorship on the YouTube channel. So if I have at least given you the opportunity to find setups conceptually, if that's the case, then over time, if you submit yourself to it, you'll find more setups than you'd ever imagine. Make it very, very simple for all of you to look at it, say, okay, I don't have to have 1,000 moving parts. I can go in and simply look at things that make sense. And if you can visually understand what it is I'm teaching, you'll see that it doesn't require a lot of chart graffiti. Okay, things that are very distracting. Do you look at this chart here and see a lot of things that would be mysterious? No, very simple little things. I'll draw a line to highlight a level that I want to see breached, okay, and a level where I want to see it reach up into. And that's the basis of understanding how the markets work within a liquidity matrix. You have buy side and sell side. And once you have that understanding, and I'll teach some of those things in the mentorship, you'll be able to find setups that repeat at least one good setup a week. But if you can find 25 handles a week in the E-mini market, you can do very, very well with that. And here's my inspiration to you in closing. If we're looking at a market that provides us setups, and let's just say your mortgage or your rent is, say, $1,500. It may not be that much. It may be actually more than that. But I'm just going to say, let's just say it's $1,500. What happens if you can earn enough to make 50% or all of that a month going forward? Would that not be beneficial to you? That's the mindset I want you all to have. Or let's say you have a car note and your car payment and your car insurance. If you could find a way to have that money come to you by your own speculation over time, not right away. I'm not suggesting all of you are going to be able to do this in the same year. But over time, if you submit to the process I outlined for you, my belief is, my personal belief, my honest opinion is, I believe that it is possible. Now, anyone can say, oh, anything's possible. But I believe the things I'm going to show you are things that you'll be able to spot on your own.